foreign domestic helpers are the minorities and residents of Hong Kong. They make contributions to our local community. In 2019, Hong Kong has approximately 390,000 foreign domestic helpers, and most of them are come from the Philippines and Indonesia. Do they satisfy with their workload? Are they being treated fairly? This video will mainly focus on their living quality, working environment, and the government policy. In order to strengthen the civil society, it is necessary to investigate this issue. We collected the first-hand data by distributing questionnaires and conducting interviews in the Mong Kok Pedestrian Footbridge and Victoria Park. Our target is the foreign domestic helpers who aged at around 30 to 50. In the questionnaire, we asked about what difficulty they are facing in Hong Kong. Most of them think they have long working hours. Secondly, they think the government policy are unreasonable and unacceptable for them. Moreover, many interviewees also mentioned that the entrance fee is really expensive. Some of them think that their wage is low and inadequate. Moreover, they seldom encounter language barrier, discrimination, and bad relationship with employers. For their working hours, there are over half of the participants works for more than 16 hours every day. Their weekly working hours are even more than 96 hours, which is much higher than the current estimated full-time employees in Hong Kong. Why do they need to work for such a long time? The reason behind is they must live with their employers under the Hong Kong law, so they have to serve their employers for any moments in need. They may even need to work at midnight if the employer is required. The governments don't have any policy regarding the daily working hours to protect their helpers. Besides the working hours and high level of workload, some of them also are facing the undesirable treatment of the employers.
有食飯即係唔夠食飯咯，即係個老闆好似好慳咁樣俾我哋食。有時朋友都咁樣講都有㗎，有時自己買嘢㗎。
The employers didn't provide any food for them, which is illegal under the Hong Kong law. Some foreign domestic helpers are living in a level space with a very small bed. They also don't have any fan or air conditioning even in a long-ventilated place. According to our surveys, 4% of interviewees have been abused, such as beaten up and slapped. It's not only illegal, but it's also increased their pressure and suffer from mental illness. For the expensive agency fee, many agencies take advantage of the legal loopholes to impose a high fee for the helpers. Furthermore, they are required to pay the very expensive training fee apart from the agency fee, although the intermediaries are only allowed to impose an agency fee up to 401 Hong Kong dollar on the helpers based on the Hong Kong law. 85% of the Indonesian helpers are still forced to pay more than 21,000. They even need to make a loan to pay for the unaffordable agency fee. In the aspect of government's policy, over half of them are likely to be dissatisfied with government policy, such as the live-in rules and 2-week laws. It seems that the government did not provide reasonable policy to protect their rights and welfare. Most of the helpers think the 2-week policy is reasonable, but it's too short and they have the right to get the right of abode in Hong Kong after living in Hong Kong for 7 years. Yet the government did not give any help for them. Actually, Hong Kong governments don't have any department for helping or to settle the problems on the helpers. They could only rely on a non-governmental organization to handle.
而家女啲都中好啦，係咪啊？只不過係嗰度要咩啊？又要紙啊，有時自己買嘢食㗎嘛。係咯，而家女嘅話細戰咯，又因為喺公司咧，應該嗰啲食飯嗰啲咧唔係咩㗎嘛，一餐兩餐係咯，有時。
In fact, many foreign domestic helpers have been working and living in Hong Kong for many years, but none of them can be a permanent resident. To learn more about the issue of domestic helper, we can contact with the family who hired the domestic helpers. Hence, we can have an understanding on how the employer views and treats the domestic helper. Also, we can find out more detailed background and views about domestic helper through Hong Kong Helpers campaign as a way to have a better understanding on the issue. The media should put focus on the rights of helpers or report from their perspective. It is better to present the different side of the helpers instead of barely reporting the influence they brought to the Hong Kong society. The media could report the story behind them in order to reduce the widespread stereotype and increase the acceptance of people from different culture and religious background. as the citizen reporters do not have to be branded by the sales or hit rates of the newspaper, they can spend more time on the minorities to provide assistance through journalism. Citizens should pay more attention to the domestic helpers around us. We believe that through reporting the situation, the helpers can get more help from the society. In conclusion, we find that a majority of domestic helpers are facing different difficulties. For instance, the salary and balanced working hours, discrimination from local citizens, and insufficient support from the government. If the mainstream media and citizens can pay more attention on this issue, the well-being of them will be increased. Eventually, we hope that the rights of the helpers in Hong Kong can be respected, and we should appreciate their contribution instead of treating them harshly in pursuit of an inclusive society.